So what is up, Africana fam? It's your girl Young Africana back at it again with another video. Today I'll be showing you guys how to get this flawless and seamless install with, yes, medium brown lace. This is not HD lace. I'm going to show you guys how to finesse this install and this cut and style. So if you want to see how to this look, then keep on watching. Alright, you guys, so the first thing we're going to do is start coloring. So I have my Kiss Color semi-permanent dyes in the color Jet Black and Royal Navy. I went ahead and used 1.5 bottles of the Jet Black, and I'm mixing it into this warm bucket of water. And I'm just trying to get all the dye that's out from the bottle, just so you know it's nice and saturated. And again, I only use 1.5 bottles for the Jet Black. And then I'm just going to use like 1/2 bottle of the Royal Navy. And what the Royal Navy does is kind of just deepen the black. So it's almost like a blue black, but it just makes the black a lot more blacker. I don't know the science behind it, but yeah, I don't know if you guys also noticed, but when I poured the Jet Black, it had like these Royal Navy blue undertones as well. So I feel like those two go hand in hand. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and mix around the mixture, make sure that there's no dye flying around. And this hair is sponsored by Nadula hair. I have 3 bundles of their 18-inch straight Brazilian straight bundles, and a matching 18-inch lace frontal 13x4. So I went ahead and made that into a wig and everything. I'm just dyeing the bundles separately, just so we're working smarter, not harder, because I like to dye my frontal by hand. So I'm just gonna let that sit, the bundle sit inside the water for 2 hours, and I rinsed it out and conditioned it with silicone mix. But now on to the frontal. I'm gonna be using my Revlon Color Silk permanent dye, and I'm gonna use it in the color blue black. And right now I already have my frontal. I already went ahead and bleached the knots on the frontal and plucked it as well. The frontal did come pre-plucked, but I went ahead and plucked it a little bit more. And right now what I'm doing is, you're gonna follow the direction and mix the mixture for the dye. And I'm just dyeing the hair, and I'm going in small to medium sections when it comes to dyeing the hair. And I'm using a small dye brush as well. You just want to make sure you're just taking your time, making sure you don't penetrate the lace. And I just try to make sure I go as gently as possible. And I'm just going to do this all around the hair. And after I was done dyeing this, I let this dye sit in for about 2 hours, and I went ahead and washed it out. Now that the hair is nice and air dried, and I went ahead and made a wig into it, we're now going to flat iron. And I'm going to be using my Cheese Silk Infusion heat protectant, and I'm just going to go ahead and spray that on my hair and go in sections. And I'm just pinning the hair away just so I could be able to flat iron the hair. We're going for a bob today, an asymmetrical bob, so you want to make sure that your hair is nice and straight before you go ahead and cut it, just so you have the most accurate cut, and there's no lumps and bumps, and everything just looks nice and sleek. We're going for a very sleek jet black look. What jet black is always about, sleekness. So you got to make sure your hair is nice and on flat, okay? And I'm using I believe this is from Conair. I'm not too sure. I got this from Ulta though, and this is their titanium flat iron. Oh, there we go. It's my Infinity Pro flat iron. I believe it's Conair though. And I got this from Ulta. They only sell this in Ulta, and it's about $45, and it's a really good flat iron. So if you're looking for a titanium flat iron, go ahead and check that out. And yeah, tell Ulta to sponsor me, okay? But right now I'm just going in sections, and I'm just doing the flat and chase method. So we're gonna have the flat iron on top and then the comb on bottom, and we're just gonna flat iron the hair. You know, I feel like flat ironing is a little bit basic now. Everybody should know how to flat iron. They should know how to flat iron. But if you don't, I'm just, you know, using the comb at the bottom just so it's nice and straight. Yeah, I'm gonna do this all around the hair, you guys. All right, now that that's done, I'm gonna start prepping my hair, and I'm gonna part it into the part that I want. We're going for a nice side part. So I parted the hair where I want it to be, and I'm using my Care wax stick just to press down the hair. So just to have a visual idea of how it's looking like, and you know, the hair is a little flimsy, it's flying all over the place. This just helps tames flyaways, and I'm just using that around the part area. Now I'm gonna go in with my hot comb on the hottest setting, and I'm just gonna press out the hair. And y'all, like, getting a hot comb, if you're into the wig life or you're trying to get into the wig life, a hot comb is your holy grail. You need this in order to survive in the wig world, okay? Like, there's no way you're gonna, you know, have a nice laid wig with no hot comb. So I'm just pressing out the part area, making sure it's nice and flat because I want the area to be nice and flat. And now I'm just parting a horizontal part in the frontal just to cover up the tracks in the back. And you know, I'm a little anal, so I like to make sure that it's nice and straight. So I'm gonna go into my Care wax stick again, you know, flattening out all those, you know, kinks in the hair. And I'm just reparting the hair too as well, just so the part is nice and straight and to my liking. And then I'm going to use my hot comb and press that out. Now that that's done, on to the fun part. So I'm using my razor comb. This is the Tinkerbell razor comb, and what I'm doing is I like to razor off, and I learned this technique from both Slay by Jordan and I Am Beautiful Hustler. Check those two out on YouTube. They are bomb.com when it comes to hair. So right now I'm using the Tinkerbell razor comb, and I'm just kind of razoring out where I want my bob to be at. I like to go a little bit longer than what I want it to be, just so you know, have room for mistakes, or like if I want to cut it shorter, I can without me trying to attach the hair. You can't reattach wigs, you know. So yeah, I like to go a little bit longer, and I'm just kind of sketching out how I want my bob to look with the razor comb. And also too, it just helps blunt out the not blunt out, but how do I say this? Oh my goodness. I guess thin out the bottom. I don't like my bobs to be like extremely thick at the bottom or just bottom heavy. So this helps thin out the bottom and makes it look a lot more natural. So as you guys can see, this is, you know, I guess the synopsis of the bob. This is not exactly how the bob is going to look like, but it's something similar. So now I'm going to go into my wall or whale. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's wall. My wall razor, and I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, I guess follow where I want it to be at, and you know, cut off, you know, the excess hair that I want to cut off at. And I'm just kind of following the guideline and then seeing where exactly I want to cut it at. And when it comes to the front, like I learned from I Am Beautiful Hustler, and I like this idea, is to start from the longest part first and then going into the bob in the back, just so that you don't cut off too much and you just kind of know where to I guess land at. So definitely start in the front first when it comes to the longer part. And as y'all can see, it's looking pretty good, but do not think you're done. You're not done. When it comes to bobs, you always want to make sure that you double and triple check. So I like to bend the mannequin head a little bit over, and as you guys can see at the bottom, there are a lot of uneven hairs, and I don't know why it does this, but it just do. Like, you have to bend the hair over in order for you to get that nice blunt cut. Don't ask me, it's science. I don't know the science behind it, but it's science, y'all. You have to do this in order for you to get that sharp and even bob. And this is how the wig is looking, you guys. It looks so much better and I'm feeling it. Y'all see how flowy them ends are? Come on, baby girl. It don't get any better than this. All right, now on to the final step of styling this wig. I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna go ahead and bump the ends slightly. We're not doing no 90s bumps. We're just doing a little slight bump at the bottom just to give it that bob effect, you know. If you want to keep it straight, you can, but I definitely wanted to curve it at the ends a little bit just to give it that more uniformed look. I mean, even though having it straight will make it uniform still, but I don't know. I feel like the bump just gives it a little va-va-voom. So I want that va-va-voom. And overall, this is how the bob is looking. Now on to the install. Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my Lancome Tint Idol foundation. This is the regular foundation I use on my face, and it is in the color 555. And I'm gonna go ahead and tint the lace, the back of the lace, and I'm gonna put on the wig, and we're gonna cut off those ear tabs, y'all. So you want to make sure that you have your wig nice and positioned exactly where you want it to be at. And I'm just gonna, you know, measure it from ear to ear, see what we're looking like. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and take my comb and I'm gonna carve out around the shape of my ear. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my shears and cut right where I parted at. Now be very careful. You do not want to snip off your ears now. And I'm just going to do this exact same thing on the other side. Now that that's done, I like to go in and cut slits around, like, I guess like the arch of my eyebrows, or like near like my temple area, just so like I can have, you know, some wiggle room when it comes to pulling down the wig. I feel like it just helps me fit the wig a little bit better. But now I'm gonna go in with my 91% alcohol and my cotton pad, and I'm gonna clean around the hairline, making sure that it's nice and clean and clear of any oils or tuts on my forehead, because you know that doesn't, you having dirt on your forehead, you having any type of oils is not going to have you a long lasting install. And you want your installs to be long lasting. Now I'm going to go in with my Erica J Hold Me Down Skin Guard, and I'm going to spray around the perimeter of my hair. You want to make sure that you're using a skin guard or some type of skin protectant before you add an adhesive. So now I'm going to go in with the matching glue, the Erica J Hold Me Down Watermelon Adhesive, and I'm going to do 2 layers, and I'm just, you know, kind of shaping out around where my wig cap is. And you want to make sure that you do a pretty thin layer. Not even pretty thin. You want to make sure it's a thin layer. And I'm going to use the metal part of my rat tail comb to smooth it out. And again, you want to make sure that you smooth it out so there's no bubbles or no little ball of glue on your forehead. You want to make sure it's nice and smeared out, and make sure that it's nice and clear before applying the next layer. So as soon as you see it turn clear, you're going to go ahead and apply your next layer. And now this is the second and last layer. And if you want your install to last longer, you could do up to 4 layers just so it could last longer. But you know, with me, I don't wear my wigs for long. I literally wear for the video and I take it off. So yeah, you guys, I'm only doing 2 layers because of that. So now that that's done and it's completely clear, I'm gonna go ahead and just start shifting my wig to where exactly I want my wig to be at. And you want to make sure that your wig, or like the hairline of the wig, is in front of the glue. You don't want it exactly on the glue because sometimes it could be a hit or miss. And I'd rather you go in, trying to, glue down lace instead of you trying to remove lace. So I'll try to make sure that it's in front of the glue. And now I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the excess lace. And I'm just pressing down the lace with my hands. It's safe to do this, you guys. People say, oh no, but your hands are oily. Why would you have oily hands doing this, you guys? Just go ahead and press it down with your hands. I feel like it's a little bit more effective than me using a comb, just because I have like that nice snug feel. But on to cutting the lace. I like to go in sections, so I'm starting off with the middle section first, and I'm using my eyebrow razor just to cut it off. And you want to make sure you get as close to the hairline as possible, and in a jagged motion as well. And just take your time, y'all. Don't rush. You want to make sure that your razor comb, not razor comb, but your razor in general is sharp, so that it's just cutting away effortlessly and you're not struggling to cut. Alright, now I like to call this part detailing. I like to outline exactly where I cut the lace at with some glue wherever I missed it at. And I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 layers of this. And then I just press it down with the comb. So after the second layer, I'm just going to go ahead and use my comb just to push it down into the glue. And I'm going to do this all around the perimeter of my head. And y'all, we are laid and slayed. This is not even like fully melted and it just looks like scalp. Mind you, this is just regular medium brown lace, y'all. It's not no HD lace. So now on to the baby hairs. I want to carve out my baby hairs. I'm only doing baby hairs on the side that's like pretty much showing. The other side, I'm not showing, so I'm not going to do baby hairs. No offense, it's not to be lazy, but I don't plan on parting my hair that way, so there's no point in me doing baby hairs. But I'm just going to go ahead and use my hot comb again on the hottest setting. I'm just going to press down my baby hairs to train it so it could be downward, so it's easier for me to shape them when I'm ready to shape them. Now to further the melt, I'm going to go in with my Fantasia spritz and I'm going to spray all around the hairline. You want to make sure that you spray around the hairline, and right afterwards I like to use my elastic band and tie it down for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I promise y'all, this melts. When I tell you melts, it melts your lace to the T, and I think it melts it better than the Gots2b spray. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for me personally, I love this spritz versus the Gots2b spray. I don't even use the Gots2b spray anymore. So after my 15 minutes is up, I'm removing it, and voila, do you guys see that melt? That baby is scalp, okay? So as y'all can see, it kind of left a little indentation on my head, but nonetheless, we're gonna get rid of that somehow, some way. So I'm just going back in with the hot comb just to get rid of, those creases that the band had made. And now on to cutting my baby hairs. I'm gonna use my eyebrow razor just to cut my baby hairs. And I like to cut them about like 1.5 inches long. I'd rather you have it longer than cut it shorter later on. And as for the earlobe baby hair, I like to cut right below the earlobe. And now I'm taking my bedhead small flat iron and I'm just, doing the argentine method when it comes to the baby hairs. And for this baby hairs, I actually flipped it upwards. Well, the one that's nearest to my temple, I flipped it upwards and actually found it easier for me to, I guess, shape them. But to shape them, I'm going in with my Nairobi setting lotion. This is alcohol free. If you don't have Nairobi, make sure that your setting lotion that you're using is alcohol free so that it does not lift. And I'm using my baby hair comb just to, shape up the baby hairs. And I'm just going to use that around for my baby hairs just to kind of shape them up. I don't know, like as much as I do the argentine way, I love it. But I don't know, I just feel like, doing the argentine way versus and plus the mousse, it just gives it that extra, ba ba boom. Let me stop saying ba ba boom. But but yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and comb out my baby hairs because y'all know I love my fluffy baby hairs. And this is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you have not. Click that bell right next to my name / the subscribe button so you guys get notified of when I drop my videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.